Hi guys, good morning. It's Crystal from Crystal Pure Gardens, and I'm gonna do a little chop of string of turtles. I've been handing them out to friends in my community or people in my community who wanted them. Because we received a shipment here, and I snagged 2 baskets because I wanted to keep one for myself, and the other one was for my friend, and my friend ended up not wanting it. So everybody was looking for the turtles, so I decided that I would chop the other basket, or I ended up chopping both, but I decided I was gonna end up, sharing. So I've been taking trades for turtles, or we've been finding other ways. So today, no AJ, no. So today I decided I was gonna do a little a little video of me chopping turtles, and in the honor of it having been Valentine's Day. I know I didn't post up a video. I had an idea of doing like a not a Valentine's Day video for me and my husband, but a Valentine's Day video for me and a friend of mine. And this person is very special to me. She's actually not around anymore. And I want to talk about me and her friendship in honor of Valentine's Day. I miss her a lot. And, Valentine's Day is not just about love, it's about friendships too. So I figured, I wanted to do that. And, the reason I didn't do it earlier was because I've been so rushed and I've had a lot of things I've had to do. And I didn't feel like the video, like I wanted that video to be rushed. I really wanted to talk about my friendship with her, how we met, and how our friendship developed. Because you meet friends in the strangest places or in the strangest ways. And I miss her, and I thought I could dedicate a video to her. So my friend's name is Norma. We met, I want to say like 2 years ago, almost now. And when we met, she didn't like me. She really didn't like me. And the reason being is because the person she was friends with didn't like me. So she didn't like me because this other person didn't like me. And I would try speaking to her, and she would ignore me. Sorry about all the noise, the dogs are in the background. But she would ignore me. Like, I would try and speak to this woman, and she would just turn her head and walk away. And I'd be like, well, what did I do to her? Why doesn't she like me? I love people. I'm a people pleaser. I just want to make other people happy. So I was really upset. I was really upset that this person that I wanted to be friends with didn't like me. And people would tell me things like, oh, but just leave her alone. She'll get over it. She doesn't like anybody. That was a big excuse a lot of people told me. But she doesn't like anybody. It's not just you. And I take things very personal. God knows I take things very personal. My poor husband. He's like, it's not about you. And I'm like, it is about me. Right? I take things very, very personal. And one day she was like, she didn't have a car. So we met at work. And she didn't have a car, and she would take the bus. But we would get out so late that the buses were not running anymore. And the person that usually would take her wasn't there that day. And she couldn't find a ride. And all the girls that I work with know that I give rides out like candy. Like, I love people taking a drive with me and getting to know them better. I just love it. I love the interaction. So I was like, hey, I know you don't like me very much, but I'll give you a ride. Like just because you don't like me doesn't mean I can't give you a ride home. I know you need to get home. Let me take you. and she was like a little skeptical. She was like, no, I'm gonna figure it out, blah blah blah. And I told her, no, like, let me take you. And she was like, fine, okay. So we get in the car, and she starts telling me about her life. She tells me about how, you know, her mom and her had a really rough relationship, and how she has a hard time trusting people because of where she's been and where she comes from. And she tells me that she has lupus. And I had noticed something was wrong with her hands because they were always hurting. And, you know, as somebody from the outside, she was an older lady, so I just thought, oh, it's because she's older. You know, that's why her hands hurt. But she told me she had surgery because lupus had eaten up her wrist cartilage, like arthritis, and you know, she was having a lot of problems. And you know, we bonded. I told her about how, you know, the problems I had had with this other lady, why she really didn't like me. And she was like, oh, I didn't know about that. I thought you did her dirty, because the other lady ended up getting in trouble because of something she did to me. And so she was like, I didn't know that. She's like, I just knew what she told me. So the other lady ended up leaving. She ended up leaving the workplace. And things between me and this lady, like, were great. Like, we were really good friends. You know, we would laugh, we would talk. You know, things were great. And, you know, she didn't have a car, so sometimes she would come and she'd be like, Mija, I really need to go to the pharmacy. I need to go pick up my medication. And I'd be like, babe, Norma needs us to go get her. And my husband would be like, okay, I'm going to get ready. We're going to go pick up Norma, and we're going to go take her where she needs to go. And that was our relationship, you know, like, she was a great lady. She was very funny. She would call me at night on days she didn't work. And, you know, I didn't have a lot of money. So sometimes, you know, I would be missing something. I know at some point when I first started working there, I hadn't been working for a little bit, so I didn't have a lot of money. And somebody picked on me at work because of my shoes. They were kidding, but, you know, my shoes were pretty old, and, you know, the girls were like, joking, like, oh, we're gonna put money together so we can buy Crystal new shoes. And she took me to the side and she's like, Mija, I'm gonna go buy you some shoes tomorrow. And I'm like, Norma, you don't have to, like, don't worry about it. She's like, no, you don't understand. She's like, these girls are gonna keep their mouths shut. I'm gonna go buy you shoes tomorrow. And I'm like, Norma, it's fine. Like, they're joking with me. It's not a big deal. Well, she showed up with a pair of shoes the next day, so I had new shoes. And she would always do these things. Mostly she bought me shoes. It wasn't just on one occasion or two occasions. I think it was like 3 or 4. She showed up and she's like, Mija, thank you so much for giving me a ride. I know you won't take money from me for giving me a ride, but I bought you shoes. And I'm like, oh my God, Norma, you don't need to. She's like, no. She's like, I want you to wear your shoes tomorrow to work because they're so pretty. So I would wear my shoes to work. And, you know, you build these relationships with people, and you'll find out that these people are amazing. And unfortunately, you know, she did end up passing away, you know, last February. It's been a year, and I still miss her. And unfortunately, loss is, you know, part of life. And, you know, I've struggled with, no giggles, I've struggled with, you know, closure. I've struggled with understanding that loss is part of life. But one thing I can say is that I was her friend. And anytime she needed me, I was there for her. Regardless of the shoes or not the shoes, you know, she was my friend and I loved her dearly. And love comes in many different ways. You know, just like you love your dad or you love your mom. You know, I love this lady. I truly did, you know. I miss her so much. And, you know, I go visit her grave sometimes. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, there's nothing more I can do. I wish I would have gotten to know her a little better. Um, but, you know, she was my friend and she was a wonderful person. Regardless of whether or not we met that way, we ended up being very close. Very close. And, you know, I got to know some things about her after she passed away. And, you know, some things some people might shun her for. But I wish I would have gotten to know more about her because she had a very interesting life. She had a very hard life. So I think at some extent she understood my life because of the situation I'm in. But she was a wonderful lady. She was great. You know, regardless of what other people speak about her, I have nothing but good things to say about her. And, you know, for that, I loved her. She was amazing. And I truly, truly, you know, wish I would have gotten a chance to get to know her a little better. We have another friend in common, and she got to know her a little more than I did. And, you know, I kind of feel like I missed out. And, you know, I kind of feel like I could have gotten to know her a little better. And it wasn't our fault, you know, it's just that sometimes you just don't have time, or, you know, it doesn't matter what you do, it's never enough time. And so I think that's why I took this year so hard, this last year. And I think the reason being is because Diego, stop, there's nobody there. Is because, you know, I feel like I missed out on so much. And, you know, I had a baby brother born last year, and I've seen him a handful of times. My baby nephew was born last year, and I've only seen him a handful of times. And, you know, we missed out on Thanksgiving. At least we did. My parents canceled everything. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I work at the hospital. I see a lot of things. And, you know, from what I see, they took the proper precautions. My family, for the most part, has taken the precautions of making sure everybody is safe. And, you know, there's nothing we can do about it but wait. And so I was thinking every Valentine's Day, I will talk about a friend of mine in my life, whether they've only been there a couple months or they've been there all my life. And I'm going to talk about them. I'm not going to post, you know, me and my husband going to dinner and our gifts and, you know, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about my friends. And the reason being is because I love my husband. He knows I love him. And, you know, we're a little private as far as our relationship. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I don't think I recognize my friends as much as I should. And therefore, every year I will pick a friend and I will share a memory about us whether it's how we met or something we've done together that's fun. And I'm going to share that with you guys in honor of Valentine's Day.